Greetings, class. Today we're going to work with Canva and how to get introduced to that and make a simple project. To go to Canva, just go to canva.com. It's like canvas without the S, and you should get to a page like this. You're going to go to sign up with Google and use your student email account to sign up for Canva. I'm going to go ahead and log in already. So we're going to get to the home page here, and today we're going to do a simple basketball game day feature. So I'm actually just going to go into the search field here and type in basketball and see what comes back. Canva has already built out templates for you to use where you can take what's currently there and update it with your own information. And that's what we're going to do today. And this is what I want you to practice. So we're going to click on this first one and select that. So a couple things with Canva. One is when you're finished with your project, you're going to go to download in the upper right hand corner. And you have some options about what you want to download this as. Right now it's a PNG, which is a picture file. It is suggested. A lot of things that we're going to use are going to end up being JPEGs instead. We could do PDFs, that's really for a page. And then we could get down here to MP4s, and we can make GIFs with these as well. And we may end up doing that later, but let's keep it simple for today. And we'll keep it on PNG. The other thing that's tricky with Canva is if you start using some of the things on Canva, Canva is free, but there are some things you have to pay to use in Canva. Right now there's a premium image, so if I had to download this, I'd have to pay Canva $1 to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep this all free. So there's an image here that I need to get rid of in Canva. And you can see down here is pay and download. We never want to pay for Canva, so I need to get rid of that picture. I can probably guess it's going to be this picture here of the hoop itself. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So I'm just going to click somewhere on here, and I can see there's a blue outline around what I've selected. I'm going to hit the delete button, and it should get rid of that picture. Now let me go to download again. If I scroll down, I don't see anything that I have to pay for. Hey, that's what I wanted. All right. So I've got this background here. It's just green, and I've got the University of El Dorado. I don't think that's a real thing, and Lamford U. I don't think that's real either. So we're going to make this something real. So I decided when I was practicing, I really wanted to see what if I want to make a Lakers versus Trailblazers ad for this game that's coming up. So I want to do that. So on the left hand side of Canva, we can see some things that we can add in here, and we can go to photos, and I can search for photos of things that I want to put in this picture that Canva already has. So I'm going to look for, you can see some of the things I've already done, LeBron James. So if I look for Canva, inside of Canva itself, there is no LeBron James photos. We're seeing everything but LeBron James here. And that's not what I want. So what that tells me, if I don't see what I want within Canva, I need to go find it myself. So I'm going to go to Uploads. And in Uploads, what I'm going to do is click on a new tab and go to Google or your favorite image search and find a picture of what you're looking for. Now, we should always use pictures that we're allowed to use. So you can go to Images for LeBron James, and then go to Tools, and then Usage Rights. Instead of not filter by license, because if you put out copyrighted material, you could get in trouble for that. You can click on any of these other things and see what's labeled for non-commercial use here. So it did find one, and you may need to type in Lakers here to find a better picture of LeBron here. Make sure you get a current one, because if you're using Cavaliers, that's not the picture you want. So I found this one over here, and I saved that as a file into my desktop, and I uploaded it back into Canva. So here it is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, because I want to bring it in here. And I have this kind of feeling I want to put like LeBron James versus Damian Lillard in this picture. So I'm going to click on this picture and I'm going to move it. And I'm also going to grab a part of this and resize it so it's pretty big there. And one other thing when I'm putting in this picture is some of my text that was originally on here has gone away. So I need to fix that. So if I right click on this picture, I'm going to click on send to back. And now it's behind all my text here. Now let me go find a picture of Damian Lillard. He's the other one I want here. Now, we could go through this again where I actually check photos. If they don't have LeBron James in Canvas, then they're not going to have Damian Lillard either. So I'm going to have to go back to Google and find Damian Lillard. And find a picture of him I can use as well. And he, of course, is not the famous player LeBron James is, so there's a little bit less to use than we have for LeBron. But I did find one. So I'm going to grab that picture. I've already uploaded it. And I'm going to put it in here. And this picture's a little bit smaller, so I'm going to click on this. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to resize that as well. And in a perfect world, these two pictures would be about the same size, but it's not a perfect world, so we're going to work with what we have. And I also need to send this to the back as well. So I'm going to right click on this picture of Lillard, and I'm going to click on send to back because I want all that text to show up there too. Now, one thing with this text is it's very hard to read right now, especially on the left-hand side. If we have a yellow font on a yellow jersey, that's almost impossible to read, and even white on yellow just doesn't give us enough contrast to really see what we're doing here. So I want to try something else that may make this look a little bit better here. I'm going to go over to the left to Elements, and I'm going to use a little shape here, and it comes up as yellow, kind of like the Lakers colors there. And I'm going to click on the shape, and I'm going to cover up everything in this picture. I'm even going to go down off the canvas itself, which is fine. And what I want to do with this is I want to make this a little bit transparent. And so I'm going to click up here on the top to transparency. Right now it's 100%, so it's fully opaque. And I'm going to take that slider and I'm going to move that down to maybe about there or so. And actually I want to keep the yellow font there. So instead of using yellow for this box, maybe I want to use the Lakers' other primary color, which is purple. And there's really no purple here, so I'm going to have to go find it in the new color. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to move the slider until I find something purple here. That looks pretty good right there. So let's stick with that purple there. And we also need to worry about the order because we can see some of the text but not some of the other text here. It's on top of the text, and we want the text to be on top. Instead of sending to back, if I click on send to back here, it's going to be behind the LeBron James picture itself. I don't want to do that. I want to send backwards so it goes one at a time. And I'm just going to keep clicking on that until I see my text pop up over it. So that's much more readable that way. So I'm going to do the same thing with Damian Lillard there. So I've got this purple, slightly transparent box over LeBron. I want to do the same thing with Damian Lillard. I'm going to go back to Elements, and I'm going to go back to a shape here. And I'm just going to click on this shape, and I'm going to move this over and resize it so it completely covers Damian Lillard's photo there. Now with this again, I want to change the color. This isn't even close to a Blazers team color. So I'm going to go to change the color up in the corner here. And the Blazers are kind of that red and black scheme. So there is a red here. I'm going to see if this works. That looks pretty good. I think that's kind of blazery, for lack of a better term there. And again, I want to make this a little transparent there. So I'm going to go up here and click on transparency. I'm going to move that slider until I can kind of see Damian Lillard behind it. So far, so good. Now I just want to change what the text is in there already. So we have this placeholder text here. I'm going to get rid of the golden pythons there. And I'm going to double click in that University of El Dorado. I'm going to select the text, Control A to do that. I'm going to type in LA Lakers. And right now that text, you can see the size is 43.8. I really want it to be a lot bigger than that. So I just want to click on this slider and really experiment with that. So let's bump that up to maybe 72. Okay, that's getting a little bit better there. Let's try 88. I think I like 88. So I'm going to resize this too. I can get that all in one line here. I'm going to move that around too. I don't really want it to be on LeBron's face. So let's move that down a little bit. And let's do the same thing for Lanford U. We'll get rid of this Green Furies here. And Lanford U, we'll change that to the Portland Trailblazers. And that is a hideous green. I can't even really read that, so I need to change that too. So I'm going to select all this. I even misspelled it. It's so bad I can't even see it. I'm going to change the color first. Right now it's a green, so I'm going to go up here to text color. Of course, very similar to what you see in Word and PowerPoint and other things like that. And so I think I want to go with just a plain old white for the Trailblazers here. I'm going to change that to white. I'm also going to work on the size here. So I think I did the Lakers at 88, so I'll do the same thing with the Blazers. And I may need to change this. Definitely need to respell it. Oh, I misspelled Portland too. There we go. And I may need to move that too. The last thing I want to do with this is tell people when it's on TV. So I'm going to get rid of this text box here. That's kind of tiny. And I want to go over to Elements and the other options I have here over to the left, and I'm going to click on Text. In text, we have some different things that we can do here. Some of these are free and some of these are not. We're going to make this real simple. We're going to click on Add a Heading. It's going to give us a nice big bold font. And we'll call this Tonight. Actually, let's make that all caps. Tonight. And then 9 p.m. And I'm not sure when the game really is, but this is just practice. And I'm going to grab that and I'm going to move that over here. The last thing I want to put in here is just another logo. I want to do one I could find that I could use for free. I did try TNT. That one didn't work too well. I did find a free one for ESPN. So I'm going to click on this ESPN. I've already uploaded it to Canvas. And I'm going to bring that in too. And I want to resize this and move it around. So I'm going to put this over here. Now LeBron's got a bigger picture, so I feel like I can put more of it on there. So I'm going to put this ESPN Plus down the bottom. I want to match this up here with the size of the ESPN. So I've got a lot of space here between the Tonight and the 9 p.m. So I'm going to click on the line height. And maybe I'll just make that a little, you can see it's a little bit tighter there. And now I'm going to move that down just like that. Okay, getting there. Just a few things I want to do with the text here before we wrap up. I've got Tonight, 9 p.m. It's just kind of a white text here. One of the things that really can help you when you're doing text to make it readable when it's on pictures is to add a shadow. So I'm going to click on Effects here, and I want to add a shadow here. And one thing that Canva is weird about is the color. Right now I have a white shadow and white text. That really is not enough contrast there. So I'm going to go down here to color. I'm going to change that to black because that gives you a good, nice contrast there. So I can see that's a little bit better there. I can also change the offset so you can see more of the shadow there. So I'm going to do that with the Lakers too. So I'm going to click back on this Lakers here. And I'm also going to use that shadow. And again, it's yellow and yellow. Let's make the shadow black. You can see it gives us much more contrast there. Increase the offset too. And we'll do this again with the blazers. I don't think the versus really needs that, but we'll click on the blazers, go to shadow, and we're going to change that shadow from white to black. And you can see it makes an immediate difference. It really does help a lot. Shadows are used quite frequently. If you watch ESPN or sporting events or even movie titles, you'll see shadows used quite a bit. It's an easy way to make things more readable. So now I've got this. So I think this is really what I want. I think I'm ready to download it and take a look at it. So I'm going to click on download, and it's going to ask me what type of file do I want to say this is. One thing, at the beginning we looked to make sure we weren't going to use anything that Canva was going to make us pay for, and there is no check out and pay us $1 deal here, so we're good with that. We've used everything that's free in Canva, plus added our own things in here. So I've got PNG. What we're typically going to do in this class is use JPEGs. And that's pretty standard across sports marketing and social media. So we're going to click on JPEG, and I'm going to click on download. And before I do that, one last thing. I've got this title up here, which is yellow and green grayscale basketball matchup. That really doesn't tell me what this file actually is. So I'm going to click in the title. I'll select all, Control A. And let's just call this Lakers, take the all caps off, Lakers, Blazers, Game 4 graphic, or something along those lines. So when I look at this in my downloads, I know exactly what it is. I don't even have to open it up to know what that is. So now I'm ready to download. And I'm going to change this back to JPEG. And I'm going to click on download. And I should see this pop up in my laptop. I'm going to click on it. Okay, that's what I wanted right there. So what I want you to try is the same basketball template, and I want you to pick another NBA game, any other series that's out there, and do another preview just like what you saw me do. But use your own players, use your own teams, make up your own time and your own channel that game is going to be on. You're going to download that, and eventually you're going to turn it in. If you have questions, please let me know.